Hey everyone, sorry about that. I don't know why, but YouTube consistently is not letting me go live. And it's taking more minutes than usual. But just quickly shared my team here in fantasy. Now, obviously, my team sort of looks like this for now, for the most part. But we clearly have two, I think, substantial issues in the team, right? Maybe three, I would say. I think Soboslai obviously have a tough fixture. Rodby has a tough fixture, but I'm not too worried about them. We have Austrian midfielders that I like, but unfortunately, I won't be spending my transfers there. I think the weakest players probably on my team right now, I'd say, are DeMarco and De Kuiper, and then also Mbappe. Mbappe has been confirmed to not play in Matchday 2, so most reputable sort of French news sources have mentioned that he won't play. So the transfer, of course, is going to be Mbappe out. Now, one of the issues that I have within my team is if you look at the day of play, unfortunately, on the 21st of June, you've got Slovakia versus Ukraine, Poland versus Austria, and Netherlands versus France. If I take Mbappe out of my team and I don't replace him with a player who plays on the 21st, I'm actually going to be losing a captaincy there. But hopefully in 9 minutes, we'll find out exactly what's going to happen with the sort of Croatian lineups and things like that. I also think that there's the question to ask, whether I think, Kane is better than Griezmann just in isolation, and whether that's just better for my team from a point scoring potential, even though I lose one of the captaincies. Because obviously, if you think about the way sort of let's say twisting captaincies works, I guess the more days of play, the more you can argue for keeping captaincies. But at the same time, I still want my team to be strong. Croatia lineup is out. Um, from an official source, let me quickly have a look. Oh my days. Oh, okay. So they're playing Sutalo, Guardiol. They're playing Juranovic. I see, I see. Okay, so this is actually... So Juranovic, that's right back, right? So Stanisic is benched. Yep, Stanisic is benched. And Pongrasic is benched as well. So they're playing Sutalo, Guardiol. Um, what is this lineup? Is that a back three? You think that's... Yeah, actually, that could be Perisic left back. Yep, could be Perisic left back for sure. Hey, 11-5. Hope you're doing well. Um, the optimal midfield on Limitless. Um, I think I'd have one Austrian midfielder, probably Sabitzer or Baumgartner, and then probably Bellingham, De Bruyne, Fernandes. That's four. Actually, I'd probably go double Germany midfield. Well, you could go one Germany player. You could actually just go one German defender. I guess if you go, you could still go Middlestat within Limitless. But I do like the idea of just going, let's say, Musiala, Havertz, and Gundo. Um, I didn't get a new job in Hong Kong. That was just a joke. That was just a joke. 11-5. Thank you. Yeah, if you guys could like, subscribe, all that stuff, appreciate that. Henry playing this game for one reason. Joselu having 90 minutes against the Albania defense. Hey, that's a good shout. To be fair, we could. I mean, I don't know what the situation really is with Morata. Obviously, I think he's fit to play match day 2, and this is obviously a key fixture where we're going to play him. But yeah, hopefully Joselu starts in match day 3. But we could very well just see Oyarzabal start as well, and then maybe I don't know. You can see a bit more for Ferran Torres as well. Sosa or Stanisic in limited less. I'm not so sure about. I don't know if I love Guardiola now. To be fair, at 5.5 million, just as a center back. But obviously, there's going to be situations where he could just simply shift towards the left, right? De Kuiper is 100% a problem. Szoboszlai and Shaqiri, I'd definitely sell Shaqiri at this moment in time. Croatia lineup, yep, Croatian lineup is out. I'll actually just share the lineup, why not? So this is the lineup. I hope you guys can see it. So it's basically Guardiola center back, Perisic left back, Juranovic right back, and then yeah. I don't love it, but it is what we have. I also absolutely can't stand teams lining players up by number as opposed to position, but hey, this is football. I mean, Juranovic isn't a bad bet at this point for the sort of. I think he's how much is he actually? I can't really remember. Maybe he's 5 million. I'm not going to sell Kvaratskhelia. Juranovic is 5 million. It's tempting, but I feel like the early substitution potential is definitely there. And maybe we have to do it. What do you guys think about just simply going for this? Like, why not just go this? Which Croatia defender is the best? I mean, I'd still say Guardiola, but I think Sutalo is wonderful too, and so is Juranovic. So I don't think you can really go wrong with either. Excuse me, sorry. I might still go Sutalo just for the ball recovery aspect of the game. My chip strat is still Limitless 3, Matchday 5, wildcard. Kvaratskhelia out for Wirtz if not got triple Germany. Yeah, you can definitely go for that if you want. I'm not that low in Kvaratskhelia though, because I think Georgia was still very attacking, and to be fair, I don't think the Czechs are like it's still a good fixture for Georgia, all things considered. Juranovic could be on some set pieces as well, potentially up. Thank you, Steve. I do FPL content. In fact, I'm probably. I mean, I don't know. I think initially I was known for Euros content 3 years ago, but now I think I obviously associate myself as a pretty full time FPL player for the most part. So yeah. Teo Hernandez or Van Dijk, unlimited budget. I mean, you don't. I don't think either are that nice considering the fixtures pretty bad for both. I think the you're probably expecting both teams to score. Although I really did like Teo Hernandez and how much he kind of overlapped on the left. Is Mbappe sub essential? Well, he's not going to play. I agree. That's what makes Sutalo interesting. But at the same time, you can obviously say that a fullback can have good attacking potential, and we finally saw that come to fruition within the Turkish game, right? Schick or Mitrovic? I'd probably actually go Mitrovic. I would actually prefer Dusan Vlahovic. Abishur or Shaka. Well, once again, it's that 1 million. Whether it's important for you, I can't go Perisic. I don't think Perisic is a defender in the game, is he? Yeah, he's a midfielder, so not that interested. You've got that team exactly. Pickford for Verbruggen and Faze instead of the Kuiper. Okay, so you can actually upgrade in terms of money. Yeah, I can kind of see the logic there. The final team selection is literally, we're literally working through it right now, my friend. Thoughts on Nuno Mendes? Nuno Mendes was great. Obviously, like he did start in a center back position, so you could argue that he wasn't necessarily attacking all night long. I do like him, but I still think that Portugal still look a little bit frail on defense. And ultimately, I think Turkey were pretty impressive as well. The best front three this week, I'd still probably say Kane, Lukaku, Ronaldo. Sorry, actually, I mean, look, you have a chance to go Havertz, right? So I guess I'd probably actually go. It really depends whether you have a wild card or a limitless. I mean, I'd probably go Havertz in the situation where you're sort of budget capped. I'd probably not have Kane. I'd have Havertz instead if you had a wild card. But if you had limitless, I might actually stick to the front line that I actually have right now. The Portugal lineup made 0 sense. I agree. Because obviously, I think like Dallo, it seemed like Dallo as a winger isn't fantastic. Bringing on Inacio is stupid for sure. I don't think there's many managers in the world who would do a center back substitution when they're chasing one goal. And you could see obviously how immediately dynamic the team was. I mean, it kind of works nicely, obviously, in the sense that, Pedro Neto, who else came on? Sorry. Conceição, and then also, well, I mean, technically Inacio was a substitute and he sort of passed to Pedro Neto, right? But I mean, it's nice that worked, but you could have always just swapped a midfielder for an actual attacker at one point in the game, right? As opposed to just taking Leao that early. But hey, yeah, I agree with that, Michael. Mbappe to Kane and Jorginho to Conte, or Mbappe to cheaper mid and Jorginho to well, I think you can always go Mbappe to Griezmann if you want. That could work out. I mean, we have some pretty cheap forwards in the game. If you want a player who plays on the 21st of June, you can always have, let's say, Gregoric from Austria too. Best time to use Limitless? I think it really depends on your matchday 1 draft. Hey, Hunor. Walker, Akanji, or Castagna? I'd probably go Walker just because I think I do rate the English defense a bit more. Juranovic for Stanisic. I think, yep, that's the basic. That's basically the change from the Croatian team that we've seen. Just gonna quickly read some news about the Kuiper. So I'm just quickly reading some news on the Kuiper, but I didn't think it was actually that promising. Um, Thoughts on Schick? I still like Schick, to be fair. I mean, the fixture is lovely. Georgia obviously are super attacking as a team, and I don't think that they particularly care too much about their defense when you watch the way that they play. Good evening. Who would you captain for today's game, Wirtz or Gundo? I'd probably go Wirtz. Best defender overall with no budget. Is Lewandowski playing? We didn't really have a confirmation of that, unfortunately, from the Polish manager. Best defender overall with no budget. I'd probably say, it still really might be. I think it still might be Guardiola, to be honest. Like, if I could stretch to Guardiola, I would have definitely done it. I'm tempted to just go Sutalo at this point, though, to be fair. Should I just go Sutalo for ball recoveries, guys? What do you think? Let me just do a quick poll. Let's go Sutalo for the ball recoveries, or should we go Juranovic vibes? I think that's the question. Vargas or Shaka? I'd still probably go Grant Shaka. Are you worried about rotation for my team on Limitless? I mean, look, if people are going to rotate on Limitless, we can sort of predict it, right? Because you'll just basically find out. I mean, you'll know which teams actually have something to play for. You'll know which teams don't have something to play for. Do you think it's essential to have a player on the 21st? I don't think so necessarily. Euros is for vibes. It seems like people love ball recoveries over vibes, though. Okay, actually, I have another question as well to ask. Like, what do you guys think of me? Oh, sorry, let me just adjust my my team graphic. What do you guys think about what do you guys actually think about what if I sold DeMarco and I got Guardiola and I just punted on De Kuiper again? I think it's so unlikely to happen. Deadline time is literally going to be in 56 minutes. I wouldn't be getting rid of Kvaratskhelia, as I said. I still think his matchup is quite good. Will Havertz start? Yeah, I think Germany's going to go 11 for 11 the same, is apparently the rumor from the German media. The Kuiper apparently has a chance, but I think it's pretty unlikely. What do you think is more reasonable, DeMarco to Guardiola or Chuck Vitesse into Cruz or Kante? I'd probably go DeMarco Guardiola. No, DeMarco was superb, but obviously he's playing versus Spain. And obviously I'm Spanish, so that there's another little spanner. Should I sell FaZe or DeMarco for Juranovic? I'd probably sell. I wouldn't sell FaZe. I'd probably sell DeMarco at this point, just because of the fixture, really. Where they'll maybe center back. Yeah, he's a center back right now. Okay, it seems like we're actually going for Juranovic for the vibes. All right. Do you think I mean, going more German attackers literally forces me to use a chip. I don't think I can really stretch there. I'm just gonna have to hope that some of my German center backs do well today. Best 4.5 center back, I think Pavlovic from Serbia is actually not bad. Serbia actually have a pretty good fixture, so I quite like Pavlovic. I mean, other center backs that I think are not too bad. I guess I don't know. I mean, Wober's expected minutes might be a bit poor, so yeah. I mean, probably Pavlovic. I mean, I think Fabian Schär is still absolutely up there as well as another player to go for. How am I today? I'm just gonna use my 2 free transfers. Should I go for -4 if you really want to? I mean, I would only do it if you really think you've got multiple positions to sort of fix within your team. The cooperative phase is valid. I think it is valid for sure, Ace. Should I replace Foden? I don't think it's necessary to replace Foden now. Cancelo or Croatia defender? I'd still probably go a Croatian defender. I can't go Perisic. Perisic is literally a midfielder. Is Morata playing? Yeah, I think he should play. But to be honest, keep in mind that he has a knock, so I don't really know. I still think that he should play though, but maybe limited minutes once again, something like 60, 65 minutes. What are the striker options except for Havertz, Lukaku, and Kane? I think definitely Griezmann. Both the Serbian forwards are interesting. Even, for example, Dusan Tadic is quite interesting. Gregoric from Austria is also not too bad. Yamal is not too bad for cheaper options. Miloš says, yeah, my plan is wildcard 5, Limitless 3. Did I get Morata news? No, the coach basically confirmed that Morata and Rodri didn't have substantial injuries, so I'm just going to trust him. But, yeah. Havertz, I think, is probably actually the most interesting forward option, to be fair. Wirtz or Gundo in a wild card? I'd probably actually still go Gundo, to be fair, but it's close. Best 7.5 million or less player that is not German. What are we talking about? Like just in terms of all positions, or are we talking forwards? Are we talking midfielders? Should I sell Sobo for Modric or Van Dijk for Guardiola? I would go Van Dijk for Guardiola. I think that's a huge upgrade. Because Sobo at the end of the day, like he's still a midfielder, right? So you're not going to really suffer from the lack of clean sheets. And who knows, France could score 2 goals as well, which isn't great for Van Dijk. All right, one last question. Should we go DeMarco out or De Kuyper out? Is the last question. Before I kind of lock in my moves, and then I can just stick to answering your questions. Best captain day 1. I mean, for me, it's probably going to be Havertz. What do you think is the best 4.5 million defender? As I said, I think Pavlovic is probably the best from Serbia. Do I have any confidence in Trent starting? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like let's think about it like this, right? They spent 1 whole year. They spent 1 whole year on working on the Trent experiment, right? Why would they throw it away on match day 2? So I really think Trent's going to start again. Should I keep Trossard? I think I think they have enough enough depth to bench Trossard, but will it actually happen on match day 2? I feel like the coach was still pretty happy with the performance overall with the team, so it's very likely that he could stick to something similar. It's between DeMarco for Croatian defender or Helia for Wirtz. You can go Wirtz if you want. Is Modric a good option? I think absolutely. So is Mayer. And obviously, given that within the Croatian team as well, this is the lineup, by the way. I mean, you've got Kramaric starting as well. He's very interesting. So if you want a forward and you just want an early option, I think Kramaric is a nice option too. To be fair, Juranovic is playing. Yeah, he is playing. Captain Guardiola, go for it. I can't afford Guardiola over Juranovic if I'm taking out De Kuyper. Yep, seems like we're mostly on the De Kuyper out camp. Hey, Fran, best 7.5 mil or less mid player that is not German. Sorry for not being specific in my previous question. I think mid player 7.5. I mean, at that rate, I think you're still restricted to the 7 million players. I quite like an Austrian midfielder, to be honest, at 6.5 million. I'd probably recommend Sabitzer or Baumgartner, I think. Yeah, I think I'd probably lean to the Austrian midfielders, to be honest. I think they have a nice matchup. I think Poland stylistically, Poland and Georgia were the two teams that for me looked very good on attack, but also looked very frail on defense. Did I not take 2 hits? No, these would just be my 2 free transfers. Hi, Fran Jorginho. What does that mean? Is Schick still a possible buy? Yeah, I think so. But obviously, you have to sort of. I mean, like his X minutes traditionally for the Czech team are a little bit weaker. Go with your gut, have fun. Yeah, I'm pretty tempted with Juranovic. Although obviously as a Spaniard, I'd probably like to sell DeMarco more just for the whole vibes of the thing. Griezmann, I think, is a great pick. I'll keep Rodri. Yeah, why not keep a Spanish player on my team? And I still think he's fine. Like that knock wasn't a huge problem. Bellingham or De Bruyne, I'd still probably go De Bruyne. Did I take 2 hits? No, I didn't. Bellingham or Kane for English cover, I'd still probably go Kane, to be honest. When should I do wildcard and Limitless? I think it really depends on your matchday 1 strategy. So what was your initial strategy? I'd probably stick to that. Bellingham and Kane, is it a lot? For the wildcard, I think so. You should probably only pick between one out of 2 of them. I can kind of understand if you want to go Havertz over Kane, then you can go Bellingham in the midfield as well. Do we know something about Shaqiri? I don't think so. I feel like his position in the team is a little bit shaky, to be quite honest, because the performance was so good in the previous match. Like, why change it? The only thing I can see changing is maybe Mbolo could start, but he could also have limited minutes anyways. Hugo, I mean, you can stop spamming or you can listen to what I'm saying. So I'm just going to have to put you in timeout. Mbappe and DeMarco for Rodrigo and Guardiola, or Mbappe and Szoboszlai for Griezmann and Musiala. I kind of like the Musiala move, to be fair. You were tweeting. Oh, I appreciate that. Do you think Dalot still starts wing back for Portugal? I don't really know, to be honest. I think that there's a pretty high chance that we'll see Nuno Mendes again. You've got 2.5 billion remaining. Should I sell Sobo for a more expensive midfielder and accept the 4 points penalty? I mean, it depends. Like, are we talking more expensive midfielder being like, let's say, De Bruyne? I think it's on the precipice of a hit. Yeah, we're doing the Kuiper out. I'm not Limitless. Why? Because I'm choosing to Limitless Matchday 3. And then I'm probably going to wildcard 5. Thoughts on Guardiola captain? I think that's totally fine. Nothing wrong with that. Give me 1 sec, guys. Sorry. I'm gonna have to check on just some last minute news on because the only thing that gives me the little bit of the Kuiper hype is apparently Tiat pulled his hamstring in training yesterday, or his thigh. And I'm trying to read if we have any sort of last minute updates on that, because I don't know if, let's say, Carrasco gets benched, which I think is also potentially unlikely, right? If we think that unfortunately our man Tedesco is a fraudster. I'm joking. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go Juranovic, to be honest. Call it a day there. Shall I lock in my moves, my friends? I think I'm just gonna lock in. I'm gonna lock in, and we're gonna spend the rest of your time answering your questions. Oh, I'm so sad I have to leave the Kuiper. My team has quite nice fixtures for Matchday 3. Why not Limitless today? I agree with you, but I think if you look at Kvaratskhelia and Sobo, they're basically the same. Obviously, Rodri will have a better fixture, but maybe we'll actually rest Rodri in Matchday 3, which I think is possible if we beat Italy. At the same time, when it comes to my defense, I think the German team can rotate a lot in Matchday 3, so I'm kind of worried that players like Mittelstadt and Tom might get rotated. So, for example, players like Schlotterbeck could start. Mittelstadt could get rotated for David Raum. In terms of goalkeeper, I think Pickford's fine. Lunin, his spot within the team is dicey. He doesn't have a great fixture match day 3. When it comes to, let's say, the forward position, obviously it's nice that Lukaku kind of stunk it up the first game because it means that he probably has to play the next 2 fixtures, so he won't get rotated. But who knows? Like, if, let's say, France win the first 2 games, why risk Mbappe on match day 3? I suppose, once again, is going to be the sort of thinking. Although I'm sure he'll want to play personally. As far as Ronaldo, if they win the first 2 games, once again, I think it would still make sense to rest him. You're not going to play Ronaldo 3x90, and maybe if you do, that's kind of crazy. But I suppose, obviously, if Ronaldo can push for it himself, I suppose there's that. But I'm going to lock in my transfers and call it a day here. All right, we've got Mr. Juranovic. So please, Juranovic ball, I need something. Meyer captain, I think, is fine. Obviously, when we talk about fixtures today, I'd probably still want to captain a German player. So up to you, really, like as to where you're kind of at with that. I think captaincy today, it might actually be between Gundo, Juranovic, and Mittelstadt. So let's actually discuss it. Shall I mess around with the captaincy? Gundogan, Mittelstadt, or Juranovic? How likely is Lewandowski to play? I really don't know. I haven't read any sort of positive news about Lewandowski. My transfers, I'll write my transfers out for the chat. Oh, no, I messed it up. I'm so sorry. But that's one pinned message. A lot of people are going Gundo. I kind of like the Gundo captaincy since it doesn't seem like Gundo's ownership is very high and Juranovic's ownership. But I mean, Juranovic could be that super duper hole potential, right? I don't mind it too much, to be honest. You went Guardiola? I mean, there's nothing mad about going Guardiola. Guardiola's literally the most popular pick. All right, we're just going to quickly share our team on Twitter in the meantime. Give me one sec. I'm so tempted with the Juranovic captaincy, though. 11 ball recoveries. Are we talking Akanji here? But the thing is, look, let's talk ball recovery seriously, right? How reproducible do you think ball recoveries are in terms of, let's say, if someone gets 11 ball recoveries, are you saying that he's always going to get 11 ball recoveries? Does that even make sense as a piece of logic? I don't necessarily think so. Now, I think the question might be, is Akanji just generally good at ball recoveries? Is he a good pick? Yes, I would agree to that. However, I wouldn't say, he got 11 ball recoveries last game, he's going to get 11 ball recoveries the next game. That's just generally sort of my sentiment on that. Now, Switzerland have actually good clean sheet odds. And I do think as a center back, obviously, he's going to get access to ball recoveries. But him doing so well in ball recoveries, once again, is probably a different situation. All right, thanks for the Paul insight on Gundo. It depends on it depends on the other team getting forward a lot. And it also just depends on how much the ball is, for example, lost in transition, right? I mean, yeah, of course, Juranovic is not that good of an attacking threat, but he's still going to have some threat. And he's also got decent clean sheet odds. I couldn't afford Guardiola over Juranovic. We don't have money anymore. The Morata, I think Morata should be fine. When am I going to use my Limitless? Next match day. Should I take a hit to replace Rodri for KDB? I don't think it's necessary. Brozoner, thank you so much for the super chat. Mayer, Juranovic, Middlestop, Musiala, Wirtz. Who the captain? I'd probably go Musiala, personally. I'd probably go Musiala. I'm pretty tempted to captain Middlestad, actually. When it comes down to it. I think I might just go Middlestad. I don't know. It's a close one. Middlestad is definitely a much more attacking player compared to Juranovic too. So if we want to make that argument, I think at least we've got that within our contention. Their NPXG plus AG, like domestically, is pretty close though, to be honest. So it's not too dissimilar, to be fair. But I think also Middlestad does a lot more tackles and recoveries, as far as I could see from the statistics that I was looking at. So obviously Juranovic probably like less ball recoveries as well. So that's something as well to factor. Gunda 100%. I think they're all pretty good. Juranovic is pretty attacking, I agree. Obviously Union Berlin were a pretty attacking team. Obviously just not very good on defense. If your captain gets a red card, can you still switch captaincy? I think so, but you have to keep the player within your team. So that's obviously just an L. What are your captaincies the next few days? Unfortunately, we're going to miss out on the 21st of June captaincy, but we're going to have 3 captaincies. So today, probably Gundo or Mittelstadt or Juranovic. I think they're all super close, to be honest. I know a lot of people in chat will probably disagree, but ultimately, I like my clean sheet odds at times, and I still think that these are attacking fullbacks, so I don't really mind. But then tomorrow, of course, because it's England, I think I'm probably going to captain Kane. Because if you think about it, I kind of, I don't have a 21st of June captaincy, so I kind of have to go pretty safe with the captaincies already. And then 22nd of June, I think I'll probably go Bruno the next time round. I loved his performance, and hopefully he can do better. But Ronaldo honestly has such great chances. I don't really think there's even a big swap between the captaincy. Are we doing a watch along later? Maybe after work. Unfortunately, I've got to go back to work after this. So that's the kind of position that we're in. I think, yeah, those are my kind of captaincy options, right? As I said, going back to it. So I'll probably go Kane and then Ronaldo. Well, actually, sorry, as I said, I'll go Kane, then I'll go Bruno. But today is a tough one to pick from. I think it's really close between all 3 options. I'll probably go a German captaincy. I think Juranovic hopefully will do well for me as a differential. And then we'll call it a day. Let's go Mittelstadt captain. Why not? Do it again. For good measure. Ace, you've got De Kuyper and DeMarco with 0 on the bank. Do you think Sutilo / Juranovic DeMarco is better than Pavlovic for De Kuyper? I think I'd still probably go Pavlovic personally, because I think De Kuyper's position in the team could be a little bit shaky. So something to look at. This is a pretty attacking lineup from Croatia, all things being considered, I've got to say. Thank you for answering all my questions. KDB, Musiala, Wirtz. I'd probably go KDB still. Is it worth to do a -4 for Austria mid for Sobo? I don't think it's worth a -4. But look, if you want a -4, I wouldn't hate on it. What do you think about Conte as an option? I think he's brilliant, to be honest. I didn't expect Conte to start match day 1, but now that he has, and he looks so brilliant, and he looks so fit as well once again, shades of Prime Conte for sure. Will Guardiola be a lot less attacking as a center back? Of course. I think that's without a doubt. Take a hit to replace Luna Verbruggen. I don't think it's really worth it. Hopefully you have, if you've got someone like, let's say if you're Diogo Costa or you have Jordan Pickford ahead of those two keepers, I think you're fine. Sabitzer, Baumgartner, I'd probably go Sabitzer still. How many goals will Croatia score? I don't know. I'm hoping 2 goals. Am I going to Hong Kong again? I'm not, sadly. I was making a joke, but obviously I'll probably go Hong Kong next year, I think, just to visit my family. Who's the highest clean sheet odds? I believe Croatia have the highest clean sheet odds, actually. So I can tell you as well in terms of the goal scoring markets, right? So Kramaric has the highest sort of projected goals for this match. In fact, it's extremely high. So that's nice. Petkovic as well, pretty high. Mayer also is kind of third in terms of goal scoring odds. Now, in terms of assist odds, what I can see is Perisic 1, Mayer 2, Modric 3, and then Kramaric 4. So obviously, like, good expectations for Perisic, although still, quite exceptional. I think it's not like the numbers are amazing. And then as far as the Germany game, in terms of goal scoring odds, it actually goes Havertz, then Füllkrug, and then and then it's actually Maximilian Baer, who obviously I don't think we're expecting to play. But then in terms of the midfielders, actually it's Wirtz a little bit ahead of Gundo, and then Musiala exactly the same as Gundo. Whereas with the assist numbers, if we can have a look at that, it's Wirtz 1, Kroos 2, Musiala 3. So seems like markets are a little bit lower in Gundo, and part of that, of course, is going to be the loss in pen share potentially. So I can kind of understand people being a little bit lower in Gundo. I think that's fine, but obviously that's sort of, that's priced in, so to speak. Would you captain Middlestat over Havertz? I'd still probably go Havertz personally. Am I not taking a hit? No, I'm not taking a hit. Sell Shaqiri Eriksson, I'd probably sell Shaqiri. I think at the end of the day, Eriksson's, you can guarantee him to play, even though it's a tough game. Captain Middlestat, not Gundo. I'm a little bit unsure of what exactly I'll do, but we'll see. Best Croatian mids. I think Mayer is probably the best Croatian mid. I'm thinking of swapping Mbappe for Kramaric due to Croatia high chance of scoring today. I think it's bright. Nothing wrong with that. He didn't take the pen because he was injured. He won the pen. No chances were taken. I know Gundo's still the number 1 penalty taker, but the market still take into account the fact that Havertz took a penalty. So it's not like it's always going to be the case that, for example, Gundo will take a pen, and that's just probably being reflected. Hey, junior reviews. Rodri or Kara out for Wirtz for final FT. I'd probably go Kvaratskhelia if you really want to go out of one of them. Sommer and Wirtz or Stanek and Musiala. I'd probably go Stanek and I'd probably actually go Stanek and Musiala. Yeah. Who would you captain for today's game? Wirtz or Gundo or Middlestat? I'd probably go Wirtz. Wirtz's assist and goal odds are really good. Can you please explain -4 points? It just means that your total score gets a -4 added onto it. So for example, let's say I've got 44 points. If I do a -4, it's just going to be 40 points at the start of the match day. Mbappe out for -4. If you literally need to force that transfer out, I would do it. Havertz, Gundo, Wirtz for your last final spot. I'd probably go Havertz. Captain, you have to think who's more likely to reach 10 plus points, right? Not who's going to likely score more for this match day. No, but I mean, think about this like this, right, Kim? I mean, people scoring goals and people assisting is all going to add into the likelihood of you getting 10 points. Like, how are you getting to 10 points? It's most likely because you're going to have a contribution to a goal action, right? So it's not just the fact that you're, for example, like for Middlestat to get 4 points from a clean sheet, that's 45%, maybe something like that, right? That is a percentage, and then you've got a percentage chance that Middlestat maybe gets 3 ball recoveries. You've got a percentage chance that Middlestat can get an assist, can get a goal. All these things add up, and you should sort of evaluate things in that sort of way. It's not just the fact that someone is more like, I mean, and that's literally how you get towards 10 plus points, because if someone actually actualizes on one of those percentage chances, it probably increases your odds of getting things like man of the match. So just like, for example, like let's say if yesterday Arda Güler didn't score, he's not getting the addition, that sort of surplus ceiling of points from man of the match and things like that. So it all comes from the fact that you have a likelihood of doing something, and you obviously overperform in that certain action of the game, and maybe it kind of leads to additional points. I have one Croatian player. What do you mean? What do you think are the best goalkeepers? I think honestly you can save money because like if you're on a wild card, I would probably go for Pence from Austria, and I'd probably go either Stanek. I'd probably go Stanek as well. Yeah. Or actually, I'd probably go Rajkovic from Serbia first, and then I'd probably go Pence. So I'd probably go Pence and Rajkovic. I think that's a really great 8 million. Oh, sorry, I'll center my screen more. Yeah. I kind of adjusted it previously. I'm sorry about that. Hope that's better now. Maybe I can actually adjust this a touch bit more. Okay, I think that's a lot better. Let me know if that's okay. Cool. Thoughts on getting Koundé in? I'm not too interested in that, to be honest, because I think France is versus the Dutch, and that's pretty tough. Thuram or Giroud? I kind of like Giroud because I think Thuram could very well just sort of play a sort of left wing type position once again, and that would probably mean Giroud plays up top. Is your captain Gundo a middle stop? Because on the right side of the screen it says Gundo. I have changed it. Yeah, I mean I'm still changing my mind. Let's just say I'm gonna go. Okay, I think for now I'm gonna consider middle stop. Do you recommend we limitless or wildcard? I'd probably recommend that you wildcard because I think with Mbappe being gone, and maybe if you don't want to go for Kane, you can actually afford a very strong team with a 100 million budget. And I mean, I don't think it really matters, right? It's possible, I think, to create a wonderful team within 100 million. It really just depends on whether you actually want a lot of these English midfielders, because I think you can make the argument that the most expensive teams are England and Germany and France, obviously, and it's very likely that by the end of Matchday 2, England, Germany, and France don't have too much to play for Matchday 3. So if you really want to take that logic aboard, I suppose you can just go limitless now, and then Matchday 3 wildcard, assuming that all the strong teams on Matchday 3 are, or teams that have something to fight for outside of those top three, can be very affordable within a 100 million budget. Why Juranovic? Because I could afford him. I couldn't afford Guardiola and had to take De Kuyper out of my team. So that's sort of the situation as it stands. Mittelstadt actually has pretty decent sort of assist odds today. One thing I'll quickly look at is I'm going to take a quick look at the Croatian assist odds, given that Juranovic is actually in the game. Yeah, Juranovic odds aren't that pretty, but I think it's also potentially not been adjusted for just yet. Yeah, because I can still see the assist odds actually include Stanisic, and obviously Stanisic isn't even starting. So you can see like the markets haven't adjusted to Juranovic starting, which is unfortunate, but hey, that's good for us, right? Yeah, I think I'll probably go Mittelstadt in this case. I also think Mittelstadt is such a shot spammer, so I quite like Mittelstadt. I'd probably go Words Captaincy for the person who was asking that question. Juranovic or FaZe or Limitless. I'd probably go I'd probably actually go Guardiola on Limitless still, because I still think ball recoveries from Juranovic can be good. And if you think about if you think about Guardiola, if you're on Limitless, he can obviously still shift towards the left back position, so he can kind of ball hog the recoveries early in the game, and then obviously later in the game you can have Guardiola left back potentially. You're going with Hungarian defender just not to take a -4. I think that's fine, my friend. Jorginho Kvaratskhelia, I'd probably sell Jorginho if that's your question. Debraj, what is your question? I mean, I can't see your question if you're just going to say question. Akanji or Guardiola, I'd still go Guardiola. Why Juranovic over Akanji? Clean sheet odds for Croatia are just much better. And obviously, you just want to take another attacking fullback punt. Is switching Saka to Musiala worth 4 points? I don't think it's worth 4 points at all. Best 7 million midfielder for Matchday 2. I mean, I don't think you necessarily need to spend that 7 million. I would still probably say it's Kvaratskhelia, but you're probably going to disagree. And at that point, I'll probably say actually just go for an Austrian midfielder at 6.5 million, like Sabitzer or Baumgartner. Is Kramaric a viable captaincy? I think so. I mean, if you can go Sutalo for sure for ball recoveries. I'm just gonna punt for a Juranovic sort of attacking return. Can you rank the top 5 forwards to own? Top 5 forwards to own. I mean, it depends on whether you're limitless or not, right? As well. But generally speaking, I really do like Havertz, Ronaldo, and Lukaku for this match day as my top 3, and then I'd say Kane and maybe Griezmann as my top, rounding out my top 5. I do think a Serbian forward is around there as well within the top 5, but with Vlahovic, I think he gets better minutes. I think Mitrovic is on penalties, but then I'd still probably lean for the options that I've mentioned. Embolo or Dua, I really can't say. I think both of them are going to have limited minutes. Stanisic is not starting, so why are you asking me why Stanisic? When am I using my wildcard? Limitless. Limitless match day 3, wildcard match day 5. Baumgartner, Sabitzer. I still prefer Sabitzer just because I think he's on penalties. Limitless or wildcard, I think I'd probably still go wildcard today. No Petkovic. What do you mean, sorry? The lineup has Petkovic, right? Unless that's changed. Please don't tell me it's changed. There's no way, right? Yeah, I don't see any changes in the Croatian lineup. No baiting, guys. Petkovic is starting. Kramaric is starting as well. You're using Limitless. Who would you drop for a punt on Kramaric, Lukaku, Kane, or Ronaldo? I'd probably drop Kane. Yeah, I'd probably drop Kane. Tough one though. Yeah, I'd probably drop Kane. Will Trent Alexander-Arnold play? I think so. Why not Gundo captain or Tahi did better? I mean, why are we only captaining people who did better in the past? I'm not going with Petkovic, no. Trent or Teo Hernandez on Limitless? I'd probably go Trent still. Just because France was such a tough game. Do you think Jorginho to Mayer is worth a -4? I don't think so. Who should I replace for Stanisic? Just go Juranovic. If you need to spend 5 million, I'd just go Juranovic. I'm not using Limitless at all. I'm just using my regular team. Modric or Mayer, I'd still probably go Mayer. Why Juranovic instead of Schutel or Guardiola? Juranovic just for the attacking return potential. Schutel, I don't, obviously ball recoveries are there for Schutel, but I'm kind of just punting Juranovic doing well. And then obviously when it comes to Guardiola, I just can't afford him to take out a De Kuiper. Should I sell Mbappe plus Çalhanoğlu for Lukaku plus Saka or KDB plus Jude plus Kramaric? I'd probably go KDB Jude personally. I like KDB Jude. Oh, sorry, Lukaku plus Saka. I'd probably go. Oh, sorry. Okay, I'd probably go Lukaku plus Saka. Yeah. Thoughts on Akanji? I still think he's great. Why not Akanji Juranovic? Because as I said, I'm not going to just assume that everyone's just like if okay, fine. If Akanji got 11 ball recoveries in the previous game, it doesn't mean he's going to get ball recoveries again. Are we also saying that he's also going to lose his clean sheet? That's not really how we should logic stuff, right? I just think Albania is a great fixture to target, and obviously if it goes wrong, it goes wrong. But I don't really mind taking a punt on someone who's got the best clean sheet odds so far. By the way, I think Rob T shared a fantastic graphic in terms of the sort of market odds, at least as updated as they were. I hope you guys can see this on screen, but I'll try and fix. Yep, I think you can see it perfectly. So this is by Rob TFPL. Give him a follow on Twitter. 11-5 obviously has his own projections as well, and I think they're actually very well closely aligned to this. He also has Croatia with #1 clean sheet odds. But the most part, as you can see, is clean sheets are very good for Croatia, Germany, England, Belgium. Obviously, Belgium, a bit dubious, but, we'll have to trust it. As far as, let's say, the actual attacking returns, it's interesting to see, of course, that the France goal scoring odds have dropped a bit. England have also dropped a bit over the last 24 hours, I've noticed. Whereas Germany goal scoring odds are extremely high. So obviously, if you're on Limitless, if you're on wildcard, it probably makes sense to go triple Germany attack. If you really want to, because I think that's probably where you're expecting most of the goals to be scored, just like it was in match day 1. And Portugal attack, it seems like the markets haven't moved too much even after the game versus Czech Republic. So just a little bit of insight, to be honest, on just sort of market data that we have. This is provided by SpreadX, which is one of the markets, but I'm not condoning betting. Don't sign up. But it's nice to have the data and sort of use it for our benefit. Which is also why, as I said, I've gone for Juranovic at the end of the day here with a Croatian pick, because the clean sheet odds are much better than, for example, let's say Switzerland at 40%. Although some people say small percentage points don't make a difference, I still think they do. Anyways, back to my team. Limitless or wild card? I'd probably go wild card personally. But yeah, no spamming in the chat, please, guys. Akanji or Guardiol? I think I'd probably go Guardiol. Best keepers on Limitless this week. Okay, on Limitless. So I think just because we saw the clean sheet odds, I think I would actually go Livakovic, right? Because it's so unlikely that you're going to go with, let's say, multiple Croatian outfield players. Maybe if you go for one Croatian attacker like Mayer within the midfield, I can kind of understand that, but it's very likely on Limitless you probably won't have a Croatian attacker. So in that sense, I think going Livakovic plus Guardiola is quite nice. Why haven't I got Sutalo? Just because Juranovic is starting, so I kind of like the idea of taking a punt on Juranovic. I don't think there's anything wrong with Sutalo, by the way. You can go Sutalo. Why do I favor wildcard over Limitless? Just because, as I said, I think it's very unlikely that you're going to want to maximize on England within this match day, because it's obviously a tougher match for Denmark. And as I showed just now as well, the sort of England attacking odds aren't amazing. So with Mbappe gone, with maybe you not wanting to go for Kane within your draft, it kind of makes sense that you can actually create a team that's less than 100 million. With will Mela play? I really can't confirm, but it seems like it's possible. Given that he actually came off as a sub, you're surprised you're not wildcarding with Luden and Sobo still there, as well as the poor German triple up. Yeah, but the thing is, I could make the same argument for what my team would look like when it comes to like let's say if the knockouts happen, right? And my team has plenty of upsets and it has some issues. Like, for example, I don't know, I've gone for maybe 1-2 wrong players. It's still very likely I can get my team wrong on match day 4 and I'll want to change it again. Or if there's a sudden upset, like let's say if Germany suddenly gets upset in match day 4, everyone's going to be scrambling to sort of change their teams, especially if they're quadrupled up on a team like Germany. So I don't really mind, taking the loss here, not having the, for example, benefit of free hitting it throughout the entire group stages, and then effectively just hopefully making a comeback at around match day 4, match day 5. Because another thing too with match day 4 is I don't necessarily need to go with players that I think will win the game. I can actually pick players that I think can score. So for example, like if we use France and Netherlands as an example, like as a fixture to target per se, right? If you were, let's say, picking a team, if you're picking a team based on players that you think you'd progress, you definitely not go for a Dutch player. But at the same time, I think that the Dutch are very likely to do well. So of course, if I go for a Dutch option, then I can do that on match day 4 potentially as well, knowing that I have an insurance of a wild card. And I think ultimately most of the time, some of the teams that we expect to do poorly, right? Which is obviously the situation here, I suppose. I don't think the German triple up is really that bad. Obviously, I think I'd prefer having attackers, but I take your point for sure with Lunin. At the same time, I think I've got Pickford, so for me, that's a great stand-in as a default starting goalkeeper, and hopefully I don't have to rely on Lunin. But with Kvaratskhelia, for example, I still think that's fine. Sobo, you mentioned, is a good one who has a bad fixture, but ultimately he's got so many routes to points, you never know. Obviously, the sad thing is that either Sobel wins or my German defense wins. He's probably the player that I most regret having, Sobo, that is, because I think if I had Mbappe within my team, I probably wouldn't have gone for Kane. And I think I would have probably done something like Sobo towards an Austrian midfielder or maybe Mayer. And then I would have just gone Guardiola on that basis. Because if I went, let's say, Sobo to a 6.5 million player, I could have just gone Guardiola today. But alas, things like that happen. Mbappe has a broken nose, and that's that. Middlestat captain, why? Just, I don't know, belief in the German defense once again. Should I take in Petkovic? I'd probably say he's due for an early substitution, but at the same time, given that they're fielding both Kramaric and Petkovic, I think I'd probably go Kramaric at this point. Have Musiala, Wirtz, and Havertz. Who should I transfer and who should I captain? I think Musiala, Wirtz, Havertz is perfectly fine. I'd probably still captain Havertz. Is triple Croatia defense viable on wildcard? I think so. Baumgartner, trust me. I like Baumgartner and Sabitzer. Captain Middlestat or Havertz, I'd still probably go Havertz. Juranovic or Guardiola or Sutalo on wildcard? Juranovic or Guardiola? I'd probably go Guardiola on a wildcard. If that 0.5 million doesn't mean too much for you, then I'd probably do that. Sorry, I'm just quickly reading some news. Best midfielder with 10 million, I'd still probably say De Bruyne. Taking a risk in captain Kramaric. I'd still probably captain Wirtz. Musiala or Wirtz, I'd still probably go. I'd probably actually go Wirtz, to be honest. Why Juranovic over Guardiola? I just can't afford Guardiola. You went Vlahovic for the memes. I think that's fine. Are you enjoying this fantasy? Do you think it works nicer than FPL with the sub and captain? I mean, I find I like the fact that in FPL, you know, if things don't go badly, at least you've got 38 game weeks of decisions to sort of fall back upon. But obviously here, you know, I've got 6-7 game weeks of decisions. So in theory, I'd say obviously it makes it harder for me to do well. But I don't really mind the sub feature. I think it does increase a lot of proactivity within the game, and some people say that what they like about FPL is the fact that you only have to make one decision a week, and you only have to be sitting around for one deadline. Here, you kind of have to be, you know, managing your team or micromanaging it every day. J Pops, thank you so much for the super chat. Griezmann for Friday captaincy option. I'd probably still go Ronaldo. I think J Pops, if I, for example, had to show you my team as an example, I think I had the same conundrum as you, right? I don't have really a 21st of June captaincy option within my team, but I think I still prioritize Kane for being Kane, and being a slightly better option than Griezmann, unfortunately, who's versus France. So I'd still probably go Ronaldo for that same reason. Kane or Ronaldo, I'd still probably go Ronaldo personally. Why not Gundo as captain? I think they're both close, but I'll probably stick to the same logic as Matchday 1 because I still think Hungary's a pretty weak team. Castagna is more certain to play than Trent, but Trent has higher upside. I think Trent is definitely going to start. Obviously, his minutes might be a bit doubtful in terms of whether Trent's going to survive past like 70 minutes. Guardiola over Juranovic. Yep, I would go Guardiola over Juranovic. I just can't afford Guardiola, as I said. Best midfielder for 10 million who's not German. I'd probably go Bruno, to be honest. Salah, gone for 2 differential picks as my 2 free transfers. Konoplia, Mbappe to Juranovic and Sesko. You know I love a differential. Take a hit for Lunin to Pickford. I mean, who's your substitute goalkeeper, Salah? Because that's probably I want to know before you take a hit. I don't really love the keeper hit, to be fair, but I can kind of understand the Lunin dropped narrative. Ultimately, yeah, going back to the point, though, I like the fact that you're going for differentials. Good luck with Sesko as well. Trent Alexander-Arnold, 100%. I think he should start. I wouldn't say 100%, but I think I'm 90-95% sure that Trent starts. Is Bellingham essential on Limitless? I don't think so. Have I used my wild card? No. Is Trent a good pick for a wild card? I think it's a decent pick, yes. Samuel, hi Fran. Havertz, Musiala, Wirtz, switch to captain. I'd probably actually go. You know what's interesting? I would probably still go Havertz, to be honest. Still the center forward within the team. I like his goal scoring odds, but I think Musiala has the best minutes, and then Wirtz actually interestingly has a good balance of what I can see from the goal scoring odds and assists. So I think it's very close between all three of them. I just tend to like going for the goal scorers in this situation, and I think Havertz can still do very well. Hi, Fran. Best mid, unlimited budget. Got KB and Bruno already. I think you could look at one Austrian midfielder, like maybe Sabitzer or Baumgartner. I think Bellingham is still a good pick to go for, to be honest. And as your sort of other picks within the midfield, I think you can just definitely kind of just go maybe double up on the German midfield as well. So I think that's your 5. Is Mitrovic a good option? I still think so, yes. Your second keeper is Verbruggen. Oh, they play the same day. Yeah, I'd take a -4. I'd take a -4 Salah. Everyone chooses Mayer on the Croatian midfield. You're a Modric captain believer. I still think Modric is very good, so nothing really wrong with him. I think people are going Mayer because they're obviously looking for a cheaper option, right? Should I take Abishur? I think on a wild card, I think Abishur is a really nice sort of game breaker at an enabling price. Wide Limitless on Matchday 3. I mean, that's how I've set up my team. I'm probably going to stick to the plan, and that's it. Thoughts on Arda Güler? Unfortunately, he faces Portugal, but obviously, I love him. He's a Real Madrid player, brilliant player, and someone that I got to watch quite a fair bit this season, and I'm super happy with how much he's developed, really. And I'm happy for the Turkish fans as well. English midfielder Modric, I'd probably go Modric. Wirtz and Guehi or Gundo and Trent? I'd probably go Wirtz and Guehi. That's 5.5 million midfielder. I'd still say Abisher at 5 million actually. Guardiola and Havertz or Ronaldo and Modric? I'd probably go Ronaldo and Modric. You playing chip? I'm not playing a chip. Best 5.5 million midfielder, as I said, Abisher. When am I planning to use my wildcard? Limitless. Wildcard 5, Limitless 3. Is it okay to go with Nuno Mendes instead of Cancelo? I think it's fine. Trossard benched. I think it's possible, but I'm not really in the business of sort of making those calls. I do think his minutes are a little bit dubious, to be fair. Who to sell? Bastoni, DeMarco? I'd probably sell Bastoni first. Goulet or Abisher? I'd probably go Abisher. Just because with Arda Güler, you're sort of looking at a much tougher fixture. With Switzerland, they still have a great game. Bellingham plus Havertz and -4, or Kane plus Sudakov? I would just go Kane plus Sudakov at that point. Mayer or Sabitzer? I'd go Sabitzer. Who are the options for 5 million defenders other than Juranovic? Sutalo is the other 5 million defender. Couldn't afford Guardiola, ultimately. Jorginho Kvaratskhelia. I'd probably go out of Jorginho first. Wirtz or Mills not captain? I'd probably go Wirtz. Does having Sudakov as captain for June 21st tip the scales such that Mayer? Ooh, interesting. Yeah, I think it could tip the scales. Yeah, you can go Mayer. That's a good point. Why captain change? I saw actually that I guess I'm just not that high on Gundo, and I actually really do like Mittelstadt. And I don't really mind one differential captain for this match day. Unfortunately, obviously, I can fall back on Mr. Harry Kane and Mr. Ronaldo. Gundo or Wirtz? I'd probably go Wirtz. Bellingham or De Bruyne? I'd probably still go De Bruyne, to be honest, just based on the fixtures. Kai Havertz or Wirtz captain? I'd probably still go Havertz. Trent Alexander-Arnold and save the 0.5, or Cancelo on wildcard? I think I would actually still go Cancelo. Best defender 5.0 or under? Actually, sorry, I would still go Trent over Cancelo. But that has some small risk, right? If you think that Trent might not start. I personally think Trent does start. I don't think Trent is a rotation risk. Differential keeper as one, different to Pickford. So you've got Verbruggen, right? So you've got someone who's playing on the 20th. I mean, why not go for... You can't go the Serbian goalkeeper. I guess you could go for... Surely you can go for the Austrian goalkeeper then, right? Maybe you can just go Pence, potentially, from Austria. I think that could maybe work out. Best 2 goalkeepers for Limitless. I think you should just simply go with the 2 highest clean sheet odds outside of Germany. So just looking at this graphic once again, I'd say Livakovic from Croatia, and then you can actually probably go Pickford at this rate. So I'd probably go for the 2 of them. Why Limitless on match day 3? It's just a personal preference, to be honest. No watch party planned today up until maybe the 8 p.m. game. That's probably the game that I'll watch party for. I'm not sure if I'll watch party today, though, as I've got quite a fair bit of work to do. Why do you captain Mittelstadt over Gundo? And if you have Havertz, who to captain? I'd still go Havertz captain if I had Havertz. Soccer Bellingham? I'd probably go Bellingham. KDB or Bellingham? I'd probably go KDB in that situation. Foden or Trossard or Jorginho? I'd probably sell Trossard because I think Foden and Jorginho will still play the next game. Bingo, much needed. Sobo or Kvaratskhelia? I'd probably go out of Sobo. Akanji, Juranovic, or DeMarco? What do you mean, like in terms of a 5 million defender to go for? I'd still go Juranovic, to be honest. Those twins, thank you so much for the super chat. Guardiola plus Kane in for Mbappe to Kuiper -4. Virgil van Dijk / Sobo out. I'm a little okay. Oh, you're asking if you want to take an additional -4 for Virgil van Dijk and Sobo. Yeah, I agree with you on Guardiola Kane. As far as the -4, I'd probably take Virgil out, right? Because Virgil just has a much tougher fixture versus France. So I don't really mind keeping Sobo in that situation. 5 minutes, everyone. Absolutely, yeah. Gundo to Wirtz for a hit. You rate Muani? No, I prefer Giroud, to be honest. I think Giroud will actually start. I do like Griezmann over Muani, and I do like Griezmann over Giroud, though. Any suggestions for who Virgil van Dijk out? I'd probably go for a Croatian defender. But you've obviously gone for Guardiola within your team, right? So then if you don't really want like a double up of Croatian defense, I'd probably just go an English player. You're not using no one on Friday? Yeah, I don't have a Friday captain. I'm just gonna have to hope for the best with the 3 out of 4 captaincies. Who can I change Simons for? I'd probably go for a 6.5 Austrian midfielder. I'd probably go for Sabitzer or Baumgartner. Is it worth taking Mbappe out? You've already got Lukaku and Kane. Yeah, I think it's definitely still worth taking Mbappe out, George. Because, I mean, there's still going to be good forwards, hopefully, within some of the fixtures left. Like, if you can get Havertz, I really like him. At the same time, Ronaldo, of course. Lock in people. Yeah, absolutely. 4 minutes left. Guehi or Trent, I'd still probably go. If you really need the money, Georgie, I'd probably go Guehi. What about Patrick Schick? I do like Schick, and I do like Serbia as well. Last question, who should I take out, DeMarco or Konoplia? I'd probably still take out I'd probably take out DeMarco. Free transfer Bruno Fernandes to De Bruyne. I wouldn't do that. I'd probably keep Bruno. Who should I spend $500,000 on? Juranovic to Guardiola or Pence to Lunin? I'd go I'd go Juranovic to Guardiola personally. I think Pence is actually probably better than Lunin at this point because we might think that Lunin's spot in the team is a little bit debatable. KDB or Modric? I'd go KDB if you had the option. Abisher or Modric? I'd probably go. I mean, Abisher obviously if you need the budget, but Modric otherwise if you're on Limitless. Score prediction for today. Hopefully something like 2-0 Croatia. Always wanted to tell you look like Julian Alvarez. A couple of people have said that. Hi, should I captain today? Who should I captain today? Akanji, Abisher, Middlestad. I'd probably go Middlestad. Do you not have any German attackers? Havertz or German defender? I'd probably go Havertz. I'm only going for a German defender because I do think Gundo is probably the worst German attacker. Not for a necessarily bad reason, but just for the simple fact that he's worse than the other options, and obviously he's priced that way as well. Diego Costa or Pickford? I'd go Pickford still. Wirtz or Musiala captain? I'd probably go Musiala. Double England defense or double England midfield? I'd probably go double England defense. You see Gundo more? If you grow out a beard, I don't think I can grow out a beard, so I guess I'll have to just be Julian Alvarez. Captain Kramaric or Musiala? I'd still go Musiala personally. I think Kramaric obviously could have limited minutes, and he's unlikely to take a penalty, I would say. So yeah, Musiala for me there. I don't look like Gundo. Yeah, I didn't think I did, but who knows? Musiala or Wirtz captaincy. Look, super close between the captaincies, especially between Havertz, Musiala, and Wirtz. I would probably just pick Musiala for the X minutes if it was between Musiala and Wirtz. As if Havertz is included in that, I'd say Havertz. Middle starter or Guardiola captain. I'd probably be tempted to actually go Guardiola in that situation. Love myself a Guardiola. Captain Modric or German player? I'd probably still go German player. What do you think about Kante? I think he's wonderful. You can spam now, guys. Okay, there's 1 minute left, obviously. Like, less spamming, more transfers because the deadline's about to lock in within a minute. Liverpool's Luis Diaz? I don't think so. Thanks a lot, mate. Got Wirtz captain. Hope you have saved my match day 2 with your suggestion. I hope so, but thank you, Peter. Thank you, everyone in general. Thoughts on Akanji? I still think it's nice. Good luck, Fran. Good luck to you as well. Good luck to all of you, actually. So we only have 30 seconds. Try to lock in your moves. Best of luck today, and we'll see how things go. Wirtz or Havertz captain? I'd still probably go Havertz. Watch party today, potentially the 8 p.m. game, but otherwise I'm pretty busy. Lunin Price incoming. Yeah, they're just going to use him as a striker now because Dovbyk was pretty bad in the first game. No, I'm kidding. Dovbyk, I think, still looked good. All right, Havertz this game. Okay. Good luck, guys. Oh, that's it. Pens down. Pens down. best of luck, my friends. I'm going to log off now. Just going to go back to work. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Enjoy the game. I'm going to be watching it, from the office, the home office, that is. But yeah, really enjoyed having you guys here. I'll see you guys soon, and best of luck with this game. Hopefully Juranovic does something, and maybe we can get our sort of Euro fantasy back on track.